All right, guys, we're going to take another look at some equations and inequalities like we did yesterday. I'm going to kind of keep the same format. Well, first, we're going to look at a two-variable equation problem. I know it's a two-variable equation problem because up here I've got my two different variables, A and B. So remember, when we have a table, if we want to find our equation, we've got to find our rule. And we can tell just from this table that we're going from A to B. So to get from negative 18 to 6, 24 to negative 8, and negative 30 to 10. Well, I can tell that it's going to be divided by 3, because I know 18 divided by 3 is 6, 24 divided by 3 is 8, and 30 divided by 3 is 10. But we also see that our signs are switching each time. So it's going from a negative to a positive to a negative to a positive. So that means we're dividing by a negative 3. So our rule is dividing by a negative 3. So the biggest thing that I've seen people do is they don't know which one of these variables goes first, or which one of these they get confused on where the variable goes, which variable goes where. So that's why I draw this arrow up here, because I know I'm taking A and I'm dividing A by negative 3, and it ends up equaling B, or my output. So to write this as an equation, I'm going to do A divided by negative 3 equals B. That's our equation right there. This is an example of a multiplicative equation because I'm dividing. And then the independent variable, that's our input. So that's going to be A. It's what we start with. So it's our A. Okay, we're going to jump to 2 solving. We're going to solve that first one, which is an equation. Remember, we said yesterday we want to isolate the variable. So eventually, I want h equals a number. Right now, I have this negative 7 over here. So I'm going to have to do the inverse of that. And the inverse of dividing by negative 7 is multiplying by negative 7. Remember, when we multiply and divide, we don't ever change the sign. So I know that negative 7 times 1 over negative 7 cancels each other out. And then I do negative 4 times negative 7, and that gives me negative 28. So then our second one, again, we want to isolate the variable. This is an inequality because it has the greater than symbol. So I'm going to do the inverse of minus 7, which is plus 7. And whatever I do on one side, I have to do on both. And then I know negative 13 plus 7, they also have different signs. So I'm really we're going to have some zero pairs. So we're subtracting. 13 minus 7 is 6. And I have more negatives than positives. So it's going to be negative 6.